Alright, so the other day I uploaded a GeoGuessr video in which I tried to attempt to get a perfect score on a diverse world. So if you haven't seen that video and you want to watch it, I would suggest watching that first before you see this one. So it should be linked somewhere on the top right of the screen. But yeah, I was hoping to get a perfect score, and spoiler alert, I didn't exactly get a perfect score on that attempt. I did get pretty damn close though. But I was quite determined. I wanted to get that 25k on this map, and of course I'm doing this without any restrictions. I'm allowed to move, zoom, pan, and I don't really have any time limit. And yeah, with all of those options in my hand, I was really sort of determined to get a perfect score in as much time as it takes me to get it, because it didn't really matter. It was not really about doing it with restrictions to me. It's just getting that 5k in each round. It's quite a satisfying feeling, isn't it, if you get that 5k. So yeah, that's what I tried to do over the past few days, and fortunately today, as you might have seen in the thumbnail and the title, I did indeed get that 25k, and I'm extremely happy and very satisfied after that. So luckily for me, I was recording that, and that is exactly what you will be seeing in this video. Now I wasn't commentating it at that time, but I will make sure to post commentate it so that you sort of get an idea of what's going on in my head. And yeah, without any further ado, let's just get into it. So I will speed up some parts of this video because it's quite a long video. It took me around 2 hours to get it done, which is a sad amount of time. But anyway, let's focus on this round for now. So as you saw there, I looked at the sun. I saw that it was in the north. This is also a Gen 4 cam, which is basically the latest gen. It basically means you have better quality. So yeah, that's also found in very few countries. Then you also saw me zooming on that bollard, which is also another hint. So it was clearly in my head Australia at this point, because of the sun being in the north, the Gen 4 cam, the bollard, as well as just the general sort of landscape, vegetation. Does feel quite Australian. The road lines as well, white lines. So yeah, I was pretty confident this is Australia. Australia is a big country, so that's what I was working with here. It's not really that easy, but if you find sort of a highway number, or I don't know if it's called a highway or not in Australia, but this sign is what actually helped me ultimately, because it said B12, which is clearly the road I was looking for. So I will speed this part up. As I said, it took me around 2 hours to get this whole thing done. So I mean, I have to speed up parts of it because nobody is going to be sitting there watching a 2-hour long video. I wouldn't watch it, so I don't expect anyone else to watch it as well. And yeah, I do want to try and cut down my video times a little bit, because I feel like some of the videos I upload these days are a bit long. But yeah, this is basically just me looking around the map trying to find out B12, and fortunately this time it didn't take too much of searching. As you can see, there's two names as well written: Pinaroo, which is 17 kilometers away, and Oyen, which is around 120 kilometers away. There you go, Pinaroo and B12 both have been spotted. So now it's just a question of finding out exactly where we are on this road. Unfortunately for me, I'm not very smart, so I still took quite a lot of time to figure out the exact spot. Now of course, if you want to get it 5k, or if you want to get it 25k, you need a 5k on each round. And if you want a 5k, you need to be extremely close to the exact spot. So that's what I'm trying to do here. Trying to locate exactly where we are on the road. If it wasn't really a perfect score attempt, I would just probably send it somewhere there. But that's always nice to be able to pinpoint the location. So I went back to the start and I found that road name, which says, what does it say again? Oops. Okay, my video is just bugging out, but you saw what it said. So that's what I'm looking for. Karina North. Okay, there we go. So yeah, that's basically, you see me doing that. I realized there's a lot of roads, and I see that this road is going towards the north. So now I'm looking at north-facing roads, and yeah, still not really any luck on my side here. I'm going along this highway trying to find that damn road, but it's not really that easy, is it? So I'm a bit frustrated at this point because I know it's somewhere here. It's just not easy to find, really. So yeah, I'm speeding up this part as well because you guys shouldn't have to sit through all of this. But yeah, I realized that I had to look for some other hints maybe. I went down the other side of the road to see if there's maybe some other hint there. But I don't think there's anything I found. So I went back to the start and went back again in that direction. And there's the earlier sign that we saw. Karina is apparently a rural city, so that's what I started looking for now instead. And lo and behold, it's right there. It didn't take any time, and there you have it, Karina Road. Wow, how hard was that? If only I looked at that first. But anyway, now we know the exact junction, we know the exact location, and yeah, there's no need to think too much. There we go, I plonked it. 5,000, good start. Now this is quite an interesting one because I wasn't exactly sure. Now these mountains look quite Swiss, but Switzerland usually has a low cam, so that's what confused me. This is it even says Alpenlodge, which basically refers to the Alps. So again, that points towards Switzerland in my head, but I realized it can't really be Switzerland because it's not low cam. So I was thinking maybe it could be Austria, or maybe it's not even near the Swiss part. Maybe it's like Italy, or I don't know. I was just looking for another hint on what exactly this could be. As you saw earlier, there was also an EU number plate, but it wasn't really the Italian version of it, so it wasn't Italy. So I think Austria is what makes the most sense at this point. And there we see there's some German language as well, and the Austrian bird art. So that basically clarifies and confirms to me that we are in Austria. And we are also somewhere near the Alps, I'd say, because it said Alpenlodge. So that's what I had at this point. That's all the info I had. There you see me zooming in on Austria. And yeah, now the question is, Austria is quite a big place, so how do we narrow it down to one town? Now on the sign it says Liutash or something like that, so I started looking for that place on the map. Now naturally this looks like a small town, so it probably won't be the easiest to locate. So that was the problem. I was looking for some more signs as well, hopefully something that would give me oh, I think that's the Austrian flag as well right there. I don't think I even noticed it during the whole game, but I noticed it now, so there we go. But yeah, the country isn't really the issue here, it's more about locating this town. So I started looking for that Liutash place. Unfortunately, it wasn't really easy to find, at least not so far. I found another place that's Liutshak, which is spelled somewhat similar to Liutash, so I started looking maybe if it's that place somewhere nearby. Nothing really seemed to fit the bill though. So kept moving, looking for more hints, and yeah, there we have another sign, Emmat, and it says Liutash again. So that's clearly where we are. So still, and there we go. That's I think the final sign that helped me out. It said Viaduct, but that also indicated Lutash on it again. So this Viaduct Lutash sort of clarified to me that we must be in some sort of region called Lutash, and we must be in a town called Viaduct inside it. So that's what I had so far. As you can see here, it says Viaduct again on the other side of the town, so that clarifies that this is the town we're in. And I'm not really sure what GDE means, but it probably means the region is Lutash. And yeah, then that's all I had. That's all. That's all the info we had here, really. I don't think we could have gotten any more info on the location. So after that, it was just a matter of searching it on the map, trying to find Lutash. Now the good thing is that I didn't have to search the whole of Austria. I just had to look at the hilly mountainous parts, especially near the Alps, because well, it's clearly, you clearly see big mountains. You literally have a lodge or hotels that's called Alpen Lodge or something, so that also helps, I guess. And luckily for me, not too far later, I found Lutash, as you can see. There it is. And yeah, that was really nice to see. And right next to that, we can also see Viaduct, which is exactly what I'm looking at on the sign as well. After that, it's just a matter of figuring out what road I'm on, which is not really that hard. So I'll speed that up as well, trying to figure out where that Alpen Lodge is, Alpen Nest as well. And yeah, then you have that Viaduct Stube restaurant as well. It's just putting those pieces together, trying to figure out exactly where we are. Again, trying to get a 5k, you have to be as careful as possible. You have to make sure that you only make a guess once you're sure that you're close enough. So yeah, that's all I'm trying to do here. And yeah, once I'm comfortable with that, there you see me make my guess. 10 meters, not bad at all. Another 5k. Now this is another interesting one because we have some English language to begin with, and well, the architecture and everything indicates that it might just be in Europe. And there we have it. We have a pound sign on the sign, I guess. 69 pounds. Very interesting. And yeah, we have a hotel over there, and Mackey's of Scotland. So that indicates to us that we are in Scotland. So that's exactly what I'm looking at now. I put a marker down in Scotland. And yeah, now it's a question of figuring out where we are in Scotland. So I'm looking for more signs, I'm looking for more hints. This doesn't really say a city name, a town name. But at least we know what region we're in, so that's a very good start. And yeah, once you have this sort of hints, it's usually, you know that you can 5k this. This is doable for sure. So that's me just moving along, trying to see if I can spot any other hints. There we have another signpost. Carve Village. Actually, I don't know how you say it in the Irish accent. Kerb? Is that how you say it? Let's say Kerb for now because of the green writing. Sounds like it says Kerb or something like that. So let's say Kerb maybe. That's probably I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce it. Let's stick with that though. So that's what we have. We have more Scottish water, so that confirms that we are in Scotland, and that the earlier sign wasn't a bait. But yeah, this is just me going along the path, trying to see if I can. Thank you, have a safe journey. That indicates that there should be a town name here, and lo and behold, it is called Gare again. So that means that there's a place called Gare that I need to look for, and that is what I am exactly doing here on the map. So naturally this is quite a small town, so it's not going to be easy to locate. But nonetheless, it's really not that much of work now. Now that I've done so many attempts, this doesn't feel that tedious anymore. Yeah, hopefully I can get better at finding places on the map soon, because this can get a bit annoying. It can get a bit tiring at times, especially in bigger places. So if you get like a Brazil or something, then that's not doable there. So anyway, there we go. Ultimately I found it. But I couldn't find the hotel that we were spawned next to, so that was an issue. I returned back to start to see exactly where we were. It just says Kiev Country Hotel or County Hotel, something like that. So that's what I'm looking for, but I don't seem to find it, which is a bit frustrating again. It turns out, by the way, that it's just not marked on the map, which is, well, the reason why it took me so long to find this place. If only the hotel was marked, this would have been way quicker. But yeah, that just meant I had to look for other clues that indicated where exactly we were. So yeah, even though we have the town, we need to be able to figure out what road exactly we are on if we need that 5k. Because getting a 4999 at this point would be really sad, won't it? So that's what I'm trying to do. I moved in the other direction as well, hoping that we could have maybe some sort of hint there. Well, unfortunately there wasn't too much. Again, you can see Kiev again, but this sign is kind of helpful because it says A835 and I can see that road, and then you also see A832 and you can see the road splitting. And you can also see that sort of semicircle next to where we are, so that indicated to me that we are in the right spot. It's not another, like, it's the right town we are in. It's just that the hotel is not marked, so I was worried that there might be two different towns with the same name and that I might be looking at the wrong one, but that clearly wasn't the case. So that's I was happy with that. And then that Sterling Drive is what struck me, because that is marked on the map, as you just saw. So that I think was the final clue for me on where exactly we are. And yeah, then I made a judgment based on that road and placed my marker down after I was satisfied. And yeah, made my guess. 7 meters away, not bad at all. 5,000. And this is where it got tricky, because we have clearly been spawned in North America. Now North America is huge. This is clearly either US or Canada, and I am probably one of the worst people at differentiating between them. So some of you North Americans might know this easily. You might be able to tell exactly what state or what province we're in, but that's one of my weaknesses for sure. So Um, but yeah, North America is quite obvious just because of just the general vibe as well as the yellow lines in the middle of the road. So I think that shouldn't be too hard to understand. There's a yellow school bus. Now I don't know if that's an American thing or a Canadian thing or both of them. But we have two green signs, and I have seen a lot of green signs in America, or in US, I should say. So I was thinking at this point that this might just be the US, and if it is the US, then it's a question of figuring out what state we're in. Rock Road, also written in English, seems like, I mean, Canada also uses English, but it could also be like the French part of Canada, so um, whatever. At this point, I was thinking this must be in the US. Now that's the first useful sign we see. It says Oxford Station, so that means that the town that we spawned in must be called Oxford Station. I think that also says North Grenville, but I am not sure. I mean, it's not like that gives me too much anyway. I don't really know where North Grenville is, because it might just be some county in the middle of nowhere, for all I know. But yeah, I just kept moving down the road, hoping that I'd find more signs. Maybe a road number would be nice. That's kind of useful to pinpoint certain locations. More green signs, also indicating to me that this might be the US. There we have another town nearby called East Oxford, which is also quite interesting. But yeah, so I was still hoping for maybe a state name or a highway number or something, so that I could figure out what part of the US we're in. And so that's why I kept moving forwards. And I don't know how long it was until I finally got a sign, but it wasn't the shortest of journeys, that's for sure. There we go, it says Grenville again, Grenville County. So county again, I don't know if that's a Canadian thing. I have heard of it in the US though, so that's what I thought. Might be the case. I'm not exactly sure why I returned to start here. I don't remember my reasoning there. Well, I must have had some thought in my mind at the time. But anyway, I moved on, looking for more signs. Hopefully something that would give me the state. And there we go. Finally a road number. So that is quite helpful, because that is one way to narrow down what part of the country you might be in. So I started looking in the US for this sign, this road number actually. 401 and 416. It took me some time to find them. Actually, I don't know. I think I found 401 eventually. Let's see. It'll probably show up at some point. Yeah, 401. I did locate it somewhere near North Carolina. Yeah, there you can see it. Yeah, I'm probably speeding this whole thing up though, so I don't know if you can spot it, but if you maybe pause, you should be able to see it. But anyway, I found 401. I was looking for 416, but I couldn't really find it. I searched for quite a long time, and I couldn't really spot that 416 road. So I was wondering why this might be happening. So I thought maybe I need to look more. Maybe there's some other hints on this road, just like we found the road numbers. So I decided to move along a little bit. And lo and behold, I find a sign that is in French and another sign that clearly says Ontario with a maple leaf as well. Oh my. I spent so much time looking in the US, and it turns out that we are in Canada. Fortunately though, we know what state we are in, so that kind of helps. We also have the road numbers, so that also helps. Oxford Station Road. Well, Oxford Station is the town we are looking for ultimately. Also, the use of French also indicates that we are either in Quebec or very close by. So that's what I had. Moved a bit further down the road and it says North Ottawa, which is quite the dead giveaway. There we go, I zoom in on Ottawa and there you see it quite instantly, 416 and 401. Didn't take any time at all. Oxford Mills and Oxford Station, like clockwork, so easy to find. If only I was looking in Canada the whole time. But yeah, that was really smooth, really quick after that. Yeah, after that it's just a question of figuring out what road we are on exactly in the town, just like last round or the round before that. So that's what I'm doing right here. Also, you see a railway track going through the town, and you can see that on the map as well, so that also helps you figure out where exactly you are. That's what I'm also trying to work with, see exactly where the railway is. And yeah, once I was confident in my location, I decided that it was time to make the guess. And yeah, actually, what am I thinking? I should make the guess by now. I don't know what to commentate now. Okay, there we go. 1 meter, that's probably the closest I can get. So that was pretty insane. And to my great delight, the last round is clearly South Africa because of these road lines and the Gen 2 camera. I instantly noticed that this has to be in South Africa, and I was extremely overjoyed because that indicated to me that this has to be we should be able to 5K this. Usually South Africa has road signs that are very easy to work with and very easy to 5K. So that's what I was thinking here. But little did I know, this would be the round that I would take the most time on. There we go, we literally had N17 and 2 cities right in front of us. So that I felt like this should probably take a few minutes and I'd be done. So I started looking for the road number 17 or any of the towns that I mentioned there. And yeah, that's what you see me doing. There we go, not much time later, 17 right in front of me. I followed that road and there you see it, Leandra. I put down a marker on the road. Now you would think that I should be able to spot where exactly we are within a few seconds now, right? Because I'm on the right road, it's N17 and we see Leandra. I guess I didn't find the other one though. Was it Kinross or something? Something like that. I didn't exactly spot it. That's what I'm looking for, I guess, here. But it didn't really matter. We knew we were on the right road. We knew we were on the right city. So it's just a question of figuring out where exactly we are on the road. So I think that's what I started to do. Now again, we spawned on a road that was on top of a railway track. So I'm starting to look for maybe a railway track on this road. But to my complete confusion, there's not a railway track inside on the map, and that's where I started getting a bit confused. So I went in the other direction to see if maybe there's a different sign here that might help me. But even after moving quite a distance, there wasn't really anything that helped, so I came back to the start and started looking back for maybe Kinross. Maybe that, if I could find that, that would help. The other thing was that the second sign next to these ones was called Grootpan or something like that. I also couldn't find that on the map, so that was also a bit frustrating. Yeah, there we go. That's the sign I'm talking about. Grootpan. Not really also shown on the map anywhere. Very frustrating. And yeah, I'm just zooming around, moving along the road, trying to figure it out. Rollsprite also couldn't really locate it. And yeah, I think I'm gonna have to speed up this whole round because it took me like 50 minutes or 55 minutes to figure out where exactly we were, even though I figured out like the location in almost no time. But it took me another 50 minutes to spot exactly where we are. So that's the tough part when it comes to 25K'ing everything, is you can get very close. But I moved down the road and I actually reached Leandra, which kind of didn't make sense because if you follow the highway, Leandra is a bit in the north, as you can see there. It is not exactly along the highway, which kind of confused me. It clearly says welcome to Leandra right there. But we didn't even... there's also a Leandra toll or something, toll plaza. We didn't even encounter that on the way, so I was really confused. And by the way, there you just saw it, Kinross. I located it on the map right now after a really long time. So I had been looking at the right section of the road the whole time, but it was quite confusing because I couldn't find the railroad anywhere. I couldn't really... the road didn't make sense at all because I didn't see the toll plaza, I didn't see the Grootpan anywhere, and just the way the road branches, it just doesn't make sense really, does it? The toll plaza also, you can see like the road splits in three after the toll plaza or near the toll plaza, and we didn't see that during the journey we made to Leandra. So I thought maybe I'd go the other way. Maybe if I can go to that, whatever that other place was called, Kin something. Maybe if I can get there, it would help. Now I saw a road going overhead. Maybe I thought this might be that road. So I was really confused here because nothing really added up. It didn't really make sense to me at all. What was going on with this road. So I was just trying to see if maybe I could find any off-roads or any like sort of things along this road that might indicate to me what part of the road we are on. But nothing really helped. So I came back, Grootpan again, and yeah, I'm just looking around, hoping for like some sort of miracle to occur, I guess, because there was literally no hope at this point. I felt like maybe there's nothing marked, maybe Grootpan isn't marked, and maybe the railway isn't marked either on the map, which is not really common, but who knows. Usually it's always marked, so I was really confused here. So I decided to make the trip again to Leandra, and yeah, Okies or something that was also not marked on the map. Very confusing stuff. And as you can see, we're directly entering Leandra. We're not entering the toll plaza anywhere, which is really confusing because that's what I was looking for here. I was trying to see if I can find the sort of three-way split in the road or the toll plaza anywhere. I thought maybe this is, since this is Gen 2, it's an older South Africa, so maybe something's changed over time. Maybe they removed the toll plaza or something. but the road still didn't split into three at any point, which was really confusing. One interesting thing I noticed was that there was a silo there and a mill. So that road actually made more sense to me. The R27 or whatever it is, I can't actually see because it's sped up. R29, okay, that's what it is. That road made more sense to me because you can see also the railway track crossing it, and you can also see the silo at the end of the road, and it directly enters Leandra. So that made more sense in my head, but then that is not N17, and the sign clearly says N17. So I was really confused, but I did keep my mind open to the option that it could have been R29, and maybe the numbering system changed over the years. Maybe that R29 used to be N17 in the past. So that's a thought I had at that point. But I really wanted to check N17 properly just to make sure that I'm not looking at the wrong road. But there you can see that railway track crossing R29. That's what was really pulling me towards that road. Although Grootpan I couldn't find on either of those roads, so that sign really just was a waste, unfortunately. But here you can see my dilemma. Like, I know the general region I'm in, but trying to get that 5k, especially in the last round, there's no way I could have given up on this. I was determined to get that 25k. I had 20k and I literally had the location on the last one. I just had to push through. I was determined to spend whatever amount of time it required just to get that 25k. And yeah, I was quite puzzled, I was quite bamboozled. I even had to take a couple of breaks to stretch, to drink some water. That's probably the pauses that you see. And yeah, that's all that's going on here really. Hopefully it won't take too long until I find some sort of hint. That's what I was thinking. But I didn't really know what hint I was looking for at this point because there was nothing really on the road that could have helped me. There was a lot of signs, but none of the signs were really helpful. And the roads just didn't make sense on N17. So as surprising as this is, initially I was super excited to get this South Africa round at the end. I was really happy with the seed, but at this point I just wanted this to be over because it was taking so long. It's just inhuman how long it was taking me. Yeah, it was confusing, but the R29 was a bit promising to me still. So yeah, I still gave a quick scan all around South Africa, hoping that maybe there might be another Road 17 or another Leandra, but that didn't really make sense, did it? Because I found Leandra and I found the other place, so it's really unlikely. So I was thinking if I should just put a marker down somewhere on Road 17 and just go for it, because maybe something's changed over the years and they don't exactly replicate it on the map and the street view, so I was really confused what to do. But I thought it would make more sense to trust the road directions than the road itself. And then I noticed something, that the road sprite was actually the river or the lake that was flowing. And I also noticed that there was a railroad right next to the road, which very much aligned with R29. And that gave more credibility to my earlier theory that we might actually be on R29 instead, and maybe the numbering just changed over the years. As you can see, you also see the railroad crossing at that spot, and the road curvature and everything seems to match as well. You also see the road breaking into um, whatever that thing was. Um, and this road just made a lot of sense because you also had the silo at the end of it. You directly entered Leandra. You had a railroad next to the road. You had the railroad crossing at the starting as well. And I mean, just a lot of things that made sense. N17 didn't really make sense in terms of the whole road design. So yeah, I followed this road, and there you can also see the sort of T segue from the road. I was hoping maybe that this might be the road I'm looking for. So I went down that T segue also to see if the road points in the right direction, which it did indeed. Again, it says welcome to Leandra. I was still a bit skeptical because I might be looking at the wrong one. It wasn't N17, so that was the biggest sort of hindrance to my thought. But I thought this just had to make so much sense that I had to go for this instead of N17. It's a bit of a gamble, but I made the decision, and lo and behold, it was right. That N17 was such a big troll, and it wasted so many minutes of my life, but there we have it, finally, after a really long time. An hour and 53 minutes. Finally able to narrow it down to 5k on each and every single round. Very nice 25k. I'm very happy with that seed as well. Some of the spawns were quite annoying, but I think every single spawn was well, you could figure it out in some way at least. It wasn't like a remote village in Russia or some remote place in Brazil or something that's quite hard to work with. We more or less had English language, so that helps. So yeah, I think the seed also plays a very crucial role in these things. But if you get a good seed, then naturally you must be able to capitalize on it. I think I was able to do that quite well in this one. Maybe if I didn't get baited so much by the US and Canada and by the whole South Africa thing with the N17 and R29, I would have been able to get a better score, but I mean a better time, but that's for another time maybe. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and yeah, subscribe if you enjoyed it.